Corona. Congressman Costa, it is so good to see you, man. I missed seeing you.
Yes, it's been too long. We have to get on your radio show here in the next week or two.
Anytime, sir.
I'd love to do that.
Our hearts are always open for you, Congressman Costa. So, first of all, what are your thoughts about this event? I mean, I'm loving the organization. I like the way everything's so organized. I like the way families are coming in and utilizing these services.
Well, it's absolutely critical. We in Congress passed a bipartisan compromise package months ago.
Yes.
That provided funding for states and local governments to improve the health and safety against COVID-19.
Yes.
And this is part of that funding that was given to the city of Fresno, in this case to working together with the Sikh Institute.
Yes.
To provide testing here in our community. So important.
Yes.
The winter's coming up. We see 40 states that are spiking again, sadly. And we must work together to protect the health and safety of all Americans.
Yes.
And testing is a key part of all of that.
Yes. So definitely, and ਜਿਵੇਂ Congressman Costa ਜੀ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਸਦਨ ਦੇ ਜੋ ਕਾਂਗਰਸਮੈਨ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, Congressman Jim Costa ਜੀ, ਜੋ ਕਿ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਟ ਆਫ ਫਰੈਜ਼ਨੋ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਏ ਹੋਏ ਆ, ਆਮ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਤਾਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਆ ਜੋ ਸਾਰਾ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਕਾਂਗਰਸ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਆਈ ਆ ਕਰੋਨਾ ਦੇ ਲਈ, ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਸਾਰੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਤੱਕ ਜੋ ਹੈਲਪ ਆ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਸਕੇ। So Congressman Costa, I wanna ask you a very this is going to be a political question, and the question is, I'm a little bit heartbroken about some of the administration saying don't wear a mask, masks don't help, and I see a CDC director holding up a mask saying this is the most important thing, better than vaccination. And I see the president of this nation. I mean, he doesn't only represent the Republicans, okay? He also represents the Democrats or the Independent or the Green Party.
The whole country.
He's the president for the whole country. And I personally feel that he needs to be a better role model, and he got COVID himself.
No, it is very frustrating and irresponsible on his part.
Yes.
8 months into this pandemic, we still do not have a national plan.
That's right.
And it's one of the reasons why the United States, the richest country, the most technologically advanced country in all aspects, including healthcare and medicine, sadly, with 4.5% of the world's population, today accounts for 22% of the mortalities.
Yes.
And 26% of those who have tested positive around the world are here in the United States, including the president,
yes,
the first lady, the son, over 26 individuals in the West Wing of the White House.
Yes.
They can't even protect themselves from that.
Right.
It really points to the irresponsibility and a lack of a national plan that has sadly created a situation in which the United States is not looked at as the role model.
Yes.
In fact, with 4.5% of the world's population and 22% of the deaths, we're looked at what not to do.
That's right.
So the fact is that we've got to do better. We've got to do better. We've got to come together. We should not politicize a pandemic, a national healthcare crisis that we are facing today.
Yes.
This funding that we provided was bipartisan months ago.
Yes.
But we need a fifth stimulus package. And the president's vacillation, I'm for it, I'm against it, I'm not sure, is not helping us put that bipartisan effort together.
Yes.
And so we must do better to protect the health and safety of all Americans and to deal with the devastating social and economic impacts that we are facing throughout our country. America's hurting. We have so many people that have been laid off, that have been furloughed, that are unemployed. We need to provide more money for small businesses, for the payroll protection program.
Yes.
Greater flexibility. America wants us to do our job.
That's right, definitely. And then Congressman Costa, census, Jakarta movement, they have, I must say, they're the volunteers you see right now. They're the one who set all the things up. They have worked very hard to get the word out to the community about census, because census is very important. It's every 10 years. And now I see this administration is trying to bring up a lawsuit in the Supreme Court. Like it just, we have better things to do right now.
Right. I'm very proud of the Jakarta movement.
Yes.
I have spoken to them over the years. to have our young people get organized and active.
Yes.
We see here today playing a critical role in making sure we're reaching out to our Sikh communities, and they do so much good work.
Yes.
And so, but to shut down the census early when it's required under our Constitution every 10 years that we count everybody.
Yes.
And this really comes back to, in the case of our valley, in the case of California, so much of the funding formulas in Washington are based upon population.
Okay.
And if we don't count everybody, then when we are applying for funding for health care grants, for transportation grants, to help our local communities, we have to compete nationwide.
Yes.
And so it's absolutely essential to count everybody. And finally, I mean, our congressional delegations are based upon numbers.
Yes.
If we leave out people here in California, other states may get more representation.
Right.
So again, to politicize a census is also irresponsible.
So, Congressman Costa, you have been a role model for the Valley. Like, you are a strong speaker about diversity, because America has become very diverse. I mean, only in Fresno, in the Fresno County, we have 200 different languages. People speak over 200 different languages. And I think America is a very special country. Okay, I can say that as an American, because, my family, we have moved here from India, from Punjab, and this nation has given us a lot, and we want to give back to our nation. But we need to keep that attitude of that welcoming, that family, and that diversity, because I want to quote Ronald Reagan here, because he said, immigrants are like a young blood to this nation, because in a lot of the European countries, it's getting old. If we look at the statistics, but America will always stay young as long as we have that respect for each other.
Well, correct. President Reagan was right then, and 100 years earlier, a French philosopher came to the United States in the 19th century called de Tocqueville, and he wanted to find out the secret of the United States, the secret sauce.
Okay.
And he really concluded that it was the incredible ethnic diversity of immigrants then and immigrants now. We're a nation of immigrants.
Yes.
Your family, my family. And, as the ambassador from India to the United States told me a few years ago, she says, Jim, India has given to America our most valuable resource.
Yes.
And that's some of our most talented people who have come to your country to call it their new home.
Yes.
And that story repeats itself throughout the world, because America has been a beacon of light for folks that want to come and with not much more than the clothes on their back, but have an opportunity to better themselves and their children for future generations. And with each wave of immigrants, it enriches us, and that diversity makes us stronger. And for this president to attempt to divide us and to indicate that somehow immigrants are not welcome does not reflect the American dream. The American dream is all about immigrants past and immigrants present.
Yes.
And they add new, as President Reagan said, new vitality, new energy, and passion to the country they now call their home, America.
That's right.
And from my friends here in the Sikh community who have come from generations now, they've made this valley and they've made this country a better place to live.
Thank you. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen, our good friend of the community, and we always support Congressman Costa. In fact, he's showing up on our ballots, and our whole family voted for Congressman Costa, because he believes in the Valley. He is the voice of Valley, and he cares about the Valley. So I must say that we need to support Congressman Costa all the time. So Congressman Costa, thank you.
Well,
thank you so much.
Let me thank you, Gurdeep, and thank you for the terrific job you do with your radio program.
Thank you.
Because you provide information to the Sikh community, and you allow a forum for those of us to come and to talk about the important issues facing our valley and facing our country, and that efforts that you provide in our schools in terms of maintaining language and culture is very important. And so I'm always excited when I get a chance to be on your radio program.
And we'll make
we
that
have good
happen next week or so.
Okay, yeah, next week or the following week.
Yes.
But that's very important. And please, if I have any message today, protect yourself and your families. Wear masks when out in public.
Yes.
Good hand sanitary. Maintain social distancing, and just good common sense health practices. And we'll get through this. We'll knock this down. And finally, we have a very, very important election. Everybody, please get registered to vote and exercise your right to vote as Americans. It is so, so important.
Definitely. Congressman Costa, I know we'll have more discussion. We'll bring up more discussion on the radio in a week or so. So thank you for coming in person and meeting with all the families. And thank you.
And look at the great turnout that we've got here.
Yes, we do.
This is
Thank
fabulous.
you. Thank you, Congressman Costa.
Thank
Stay
you.
blessed, man.
Okay.
We love you, man.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you. So once again, मैं